time to make a HeroQuest adventure. This is going to be the 7th HeroQuest adventure in this series, and I have thoroughly enjoyed all of them so far. This one promises to be extra spicy. So yeah, let's just jump to it. Our source material is let's see. There we go. The Quest 7, The Lost Wizard. The Emperor's personal wizard, Wardos. What a name. What a name. Has disappeared. The Emperor fears he has been murdered or has succumbed to the lures of chaos magic. You must find out what happened to Wardos. You will each be paid 100 gold coins upon returning to the stairwell. So, honestly, as a kid, this was kind of a super lame adventure to be a player in, because I'm going to spoil it for you. The only thing that happens at the end is Wardos is a zombie because he fried his brain trying to learn chaos magic. That's it. That's I just spoiled the whole thing for you. That's what happens. Yeah. So what's going on? There's wandering monsters, mummies. Not sure what that's about, but you know, mummies are cool. There are 4 chaos warriors and a gargoyle, which is hype, and then a bunch of undead. They've got a devious pit trap by the door, pit trap by the chest, and then the chest itself is trapped. That's beautiful. Yeah. They've got a good opportunity to miss that whole trap situation, though, because of how the dungeon was designed. It doesn't do like a full loop. You can go left or right out of the stairway, and then at that point, you know, if you go left like a good adventurer should, you'll just end up at the boss, and that'll be the end of the adventure. What's going on here? So all the Chaos Warriors in the adventure are made of stone. Okay, that's hype. That's hype. So they get to roll extra defense dice. So we're definitely going to want some stone guardians of some sort. Let's see. Weapons room. First hero that searches for treasure in this room will find Borin's armor. Okay, that's hype. Borin's armor doesn't do anything except give you an extra dice of defense. So it's really just a +1 suit of plate mail. But we're going to make Borin's armor way cooler. Let's see. We've got the chest has a trap with a poison needle on it. If a hero searches for treasure before this trap is disarmed, he will lose 2 body points. He'll then find an unidentified purple liquid. Don't tell the hero what the liquid does. This was pretty advanced for HeroQuest, right? This is pretty advanced. If the character drinks it, he will turn to stone for 5 turns, which you might as well just stop playing HeroQuest at that point. But during that time, cannot be harmed. After 5 of these turns have passed, he comes back to life. Okay. Let's see. Wardos' treasure chest contains a bunch of money. He's dressed in wizard robes. He's a zombie. His brain was consumed by chaos magic. Yeah. Pretty anticlimactic adventure. We're going to have to do better because we are not 10-year-olds. And if this wasn't good enough for a bunch of 10-year-olds, it's certainly not going to be good enough for us, damn it. We had to make the bard proud. There he is in the top left corner. There he is. Alright, so we got a full crew coming on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. So we've got all 6 of our heroes going to be represented. And yeah, I got the map already downloaded from our buddies over at Heroic Maps. And let's see. Turns out the OG adventure in the European release was called, I believe, the Stone Hunter. So, anyways, the map is really cool. I'll just drag this over real quick so you can take a look at it. Look at that. There's this chaotic stone here. There's like weird tentacles coming out of it. They call the map the House of Chaos. It's a 20 by 30, so not particularly big. And the whole adventure is going to take place in here, and we want it to last a decent amount of time because we've got a 4-hour block lined up for it. Now, I say that, but the last HeroQuest adventure ran, I think, an hour over. So, there's generally, we're in no danger, I think, of running over. Alright, so I'm going to go to page layout, little blue ribbon at the top. We're going to scroll over until we find a roughly rectangular one that we've used before. There we go, we'll just use Quest 6. I'm going to duplicate it. When I duplicate it, I need to rename it. I got to click on it, I got to name it, I got to make sure I hit enter and that it actually takes the changes. Otherwise, it won't change. Remember, when you duplicate a page, the only thing you're duplicating is the page settings and size. So it's 50 by 50. That'll give us plenty of margin to work with. It's already got dynamic lighting turned on. We are still using legacy dynamic lighting. I'm not in any hurry to try out the new stuff. It's not my job to beta test new features. That's my stance on it. When I down here it says you will switch over. So when we do have to switch over, that's when I'm going to switch over. Like all my other settings, so that's good to go. We're going to jump over to this page. All right, an expanse of inky blackness. Let me go ahead and grab the map. Even though it comes in gridded and ungridded, Roll20 provides a grid, so I'm going to bring over the ungridded version. That is because later on I might want to use this map and have a different scale for the building. So by not having a grid, I can make the map any size I want, essentially. That is the magic of virtual tabletop. Alrighty. There's also a new interface for Twitch, I guess, where I can't figure out where chat went, which is kind of weird. Oh wait, here it is. This little pop-out thing. Oh, there it is. Cool. Okay. And this map is taking its sweet time, but we have to be patient with Roll20 because it's trying its best, and that's all we could ask for. Alright, so map comes in. I'm going to right-click on the map. I'm going to set the map to be 20 by 30. So switch it from pixels to units. It is 30 wide. It is 20 tall. There we go. Very small map. And put it right in the center so we have lots of margins to work with. I'm going to move the map, right click, layer, map layer. I'm going to go to dynamic lighting. I'm going to make sure that my marker is very obnoxious neon pink. And I'm going to switch to draw shape. I'm going to hold down shift to snap to grid. And I'm going to draw a bounding box around the map. Alright. I can already tell that I want this crystal to light up, so before I go any further, I'm going to go over to the Journal tab, and I'm going to throw a fire token on the dynamic lighting layer, right here in the center, for sure, because I definitely want this thing to be bright and create light and all that jazz. In order to add to the spooky factor, we will have them arrive after dark at Wardoz's estate. And then we're going to go ahead and put more light sources in for these other rooms that have kind of glowy tentacles on the ground. Tendrils of nastiness. I just was in an adventure last Wednesday that involved a meteorite falling from space and then a bunch of far realm creatures coming out. I don't want to copy that too much, but damn, if it doesn't look like that's exactly what's happening with this map. Like, this would have been an amazing map to sub in on that adventure if one was needed. Alright, I'm going to change the glow to only be dim, so I'm going to do 40 minus 5, and all players can see the light. Cool. Alright. And then I'm going to, while it's selected, Control C and Control V and copy these around so that they create a glow in the different rooms that they're in. Because these light sources are on the dynamic lighting layer, we won't see them when we go back to the regular map. We'll just see the effects of the light. All right, time to go ahead and draw our dynamic lighting. I just want to get that out of the way right away. So let's see what we're working with here. We got the front door. And let's see, these are kind of skinnier walls, and I just used Control Z there to undo what I've done. I'm going to switch to a smaller marker and start tracing the lines. I love heroic maps. They feel a lot more organic. Part of that organic look is that there's just nothing straight. There's never any like straight lines, so it makes tracing the dynamic lighting a bit more work than a normal one. And I'm also trying to make sure that the walls themselves are visible outside of the dynamic lighting, so that players can look and see that there is in fact a wall there, and it is not just an infinite dark expanse, which I think is the second time we've mentioned that today. Alright. And over here on the side, I can't imagine that they're going to come over here on the side of the house, but who knows. If you were going to use this map in a non-one-shot game and you wanted to give them a bit more room, they do have maps that are similar. This looks like the Hinterlands environment, so you could take some of their Hinterlands maps and sort of put them next to this map to expand it out a bit further away from the house. And I guess the cool thing about the original adventure being so bland is that we're really freed up to do just about anything we want. The main things that I want to keep, so I want to keep the stone guardians. I think that's cool. There's a lot of statues here that would make good stone guardians. Obviously, Wardo's got up to some biz, and as you could plainly see, and that caused problems. And let's see, this is set in the Warhammer universe, so there are a lot of nasty demons that he could have wound up making a deal with. I think the demon of change is called like Slanesh or something like that, so we could do something like that and kind of go off of this, take, you know, creatures from Slanesh or something. I'll have to double check because my Warhammer lore is not the strongest. It's one of those things that you sort of pick up passively from lots and lots of conventions. Let's see. I mean, I did play a little Warhammer Fantasy when I was a kiddo. I had some Skaven. It was pretty fun. And then I did some tabletop wargaming stuff for Cool Mini or Not. There was this game called Wrath of Kings. It was a really fun game, really cool aesthetic, but it is no longer being made, which is very sad. But mostly with 5 D&D games, I do not have any time to do much else, so there's no tabletop wargaming for me. Alright, tracing them out. There we go. Ooh, we got treasure chest there. That could be the extremely well-trapped chest. I don't know. There's another treasure chest down here. I guess this was Wardo's dining room at one point. Yeah, we'll figure something out with it. And if we don't, we always have our handy-dandy treasure cards to solve that problem. Alright. I want to say we're almost done, but man, there are a lot of walls to trace here. Let's see. Yeah, we've done maybe half of this place. Another thing that Heroic Maps does not have a problem with is walls. They will, or not walls, sorry, doors. Yeah, they have this one haunted house map. It had a lot of doors. A lot of doors. Alright, here we go. At one point, my players who were running through it, because I used the map to run Death House from Curse of Strahd. It's sort of like the optional intro adventure. And by the end of it, they didn't want to see another door. Or so many doors. But I mean, a mansion has a lot of doors. It's just how it is. Sewer, maybe not so much. I don't know too much about sewers, but I feel like they wouldn't have that many doors, but maybe. Alright. You also notice that this building doesn't have any windows, which is nice from a dungeon standpoint. And I guess the explanation from a lore standpoint is he's a wizard, and he doesn't want anybody peeking in on him or being able to look through the window and misty step in or anything like that. I feel like if you were a wizard who was morally ambiguous, you would definitely hire like a Canoloth to live in your house to prevent people from teleporting into it. But maybe there's some homebrew like teleportation ward that you are aware of. Alright, looks like we got a secret door situation right here. So we want to make sure that we don't accidentally block up the opportunity for a secret door. I guess this would be like a hidey hole behind the library. That could be kind of cool. Don't know what to put in there yet, but that'd be pretty neat. Ooh, could mention the fancy armor in the armory and say that it was moved someplace safe, and then we'll put Boren's armor in that secret hidey hole. That sounds like a good idea. Alright. If that's the case, we'll just keep going like this. There we go. Yeah, so a room like this on a map is really cool, but your players, they're going to want to know. They're going to want to know what all this cool stuff on the map is. They're going to be like, well, what kind of sword is that? And what kind of staff is that? And while, you know, treasure cards are cool and all, in this instance, we may want to already have a document written up that's got the general payload of what's going on in here. Because this guy, he's got a lot of loots in his house. And I feel like you could probably loot them pretty hard. We can always take the classic D&D Dungeon Master cop-out and say, oh yeah, all the foul chaos magic and monsters have ruined / destroyed everything. Which, you know, kind of comes across as being a little mean, but it also is keeping your game balanced. As fun as it would be to say, like, yeah, this you get all this dude's magic items. Yeah, they don't really want all those magic items. They want to always feel like there's something more on the horizon. Maybe. I don't know. I try to understand the motivations of players, but well, like, okay, so I played in a Mad Mage game, and it was off of Dragon Heist, and we got hella stinking rich off of Dragon Heist, and then the DM let us spend the money on magic items, and he used very reasonable magic item prices, and he used the Xanathar's raw mechanics for finding the magic items that you wanted. And I got out my little calculator, and I mathed it out, and I made sure that I was able to find the items that I wanted, and I purchased the items that I wanted, and I had 3 of the best magic items in the game at like level 5 or 6. And yeah, I had a really good time, like a really good time. So I guess having magic items is good, and it didn't in any way stop me from wanting to continue adventuring. So maybe we do need to add a bucket of magic items to this adventure. Oh, that's true. They could all have, like, wild magic surges. Oh, man. We could just have wild magic surges going on the whole flippin' time they're in this adventure. Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, there is this chaos thing here. And, let's see. Let's look it up real quick. Warhammer Demon of Change. He's like a bird. Lord of Change? There he is. Supreme Mutator. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. He's an adorable little bird. It's cutie. It's cutie pie. Let's see. A Lord of Change is also called a Supreme Mutator. Okay. How am I even pronouncing this close to correctly?
Ciench.
Ciench. Okay. All right. Yeah, I like the idea that we're dealing with like this kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think that's actually the premise of Silver Tower, which is sort of like, I guess, a modern day successor to HeroQuest. They did like a Warhammer Quest board game-ish type thing called Silver Tower. Yeah. No, it's never fun to deal with wild magic surges. Okay. Okay. But Chaos will make it an ability of the creatures themselves. When you cast spells at the creatures, in addition to the spell effect, it also causes a wild surge. That will be the compromise. Every spell won't have it, but the creatures themselves can use their reaction to turn your spell into a wild surge. I like that. Alright, let's go ahead and add some doors and secret doors. Alright, we're going to switch to our shape tool, because I think rectangles make better doors in Roll20. Okay, hands, the memo, there you go, switching. Alright, so door and doors. Alright, no door there, which is interesting. So, my complaint about the original map was that you could go left or right, and that was pretty much it. It was a very short adventure. It was like two paths, and the paths didn't intersect with each other. This map, on the other hand, you can go a lot of different directions and sort of wind your way through the place. In a way, it's very similar to Malar's Maze, which was 2 adventures ago, or 2 HeroQuest adventures ago. So, I guess the question there is, how do we make sure that they enjoy a full 4-hour one-shot adventure without it taking all night? I think the best thing for that is going off of that same thing we do with Malar's Maze. We will have a trigger that they have to find that will bring out Wardos. So basically, Wardos is here, but Wardos is not here, kind of thing. And they need to figure out how to bring Wardos back, right? Because we'll say that he's in like the realm of chaos or whatever. And when he comes back, he will, of course, be one of these Eye of Zeech or whatever, and they'll have a pretty badass fight against him, all that jazz. Is there a D&D monster that is already basically that creature? Yeah, it is called a Varrock. It is a type of demon, Tanari type thing. We could definitely go with that. Alright, looking here in the back, there is a balcony here that looks elevated. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a big old door thing there, because they won't be able to see it from down in the swampy area down there. But if they wanted to, they could climb up to this balcony. So I'm going to go to the object layer, and to remind myself that there is a balcony there, and to show the characters that there's such a thing, I'm going to use these fancy new elevation tokens that I made. There we go. Sweet. Elevation change right here. And they kind of look tacky, but at the same time, they don't look any tackier than me drawing with my mouse in pink marker. So, Let's see. I think they do a pretty good job of communicating the change. I need to make them into a formal template, I think, but I have not had the time to do so. Alright, cool. So they can go down into that marsh area, and then they could climb up if they want to. So if they do a full perimeter sweep of the building, they will discover, eerily enough, that it is like a solid stone building that has no windows. But there is a balcony in the back, and the balcony has no more doors. So the doors got completely blown out. On that note, when I'm talking about templates that I need to make, I definitely need to make an open door template. It's something that I've started getting back into the habit of using. Basically, Heroic Maps has a free door pack that matches the style of most of their maps, and it has door frames, right? And the idea here is you stash them on your map layer, and then as needed, you would drag them over when a door gets opened, so people don't see a door anymore, right? They would see like that instead. And then that just kind of helps them remember that the door's been opened. I don't know. And the quote-unquote technology has been there the whole time. I just got out of the habit of using them. So I sort of like leaned hard on dynamic lighting. Like, if you could see through the door, you could see through the door. It must mean it's open. Yeah, I like the idea that the crystal room would probably make you sick if you went into it. So let's give it a... we'll give it a little magic token. There we go. I'll make it smaller. Okay, and then we'll give it an aura. So let's see, we'll make it so the players can see the aura. We'll make the aura purple. And then we'll make it 25 feet. Oof, that is too big. Okay, we'll make it 15 feet. Cool. Alright, so we won't reveal this. We'll keep it on the GM's layer. And we won't reveal this until they kind of go into the room. And then we'll move it from the GM layer back down to the player layer. Or we could just leave it on the GM's layer, and they don't know until it's too late that they've walked into Make You Feel Bad aura. So we could probably queue up the Insanity section if we wanted to, but more than likely just going with the age-old Confusion spell would be enough for that. Alright. So let's try and hit up these top items that we want. We want stone warriors. Alright, so our options for stone warriors, we could just be insane and put some stone golems down. There's 4 stone golems though, so maybe that's not a good idea. Let's see. We've got these Dwegar Stone Guard, but they're actually just Dwegar who, you know, like stone. Yeah, so we don't want those guys. Let's see. Stone Giant, Stone Cursed, Stone Golem. And again, a Stone Golem's pretty high CR. Let's see. 10. I don't really feel like it's a deserved CR of 10. I feel like they're really not as tough as all that. So we could do that. But it is technically, they are technically Chaos Warriors. So let's see. Let's get out our friend Chaos Warrior and see what they're bringing to the table. Alright, so the Chaos Warrior can auto crit, which is nice. It can give essentially a bless effect to its allies, which is really cool. And it can swap initiatives with its allies, which is also cool. It has a parry to defend against attacks. It uses a beefy-ass greatsword. So, we could duplicate this. And then we could go in here and make it a stone warrior. Or we could do a little bit of quick research about what the Lord of Change is bringing to the table for his Chaos Warriors. Let's see. Alright. Because I believe they all have Chaos Warriors. Alright, let's see. What is the Siege Chaos Warrior got going? Okay. This is a level. Sorry, this is level 5 adventure. I mean, they could level 5 could handle Stone Golem, no problem. 6 of them. That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna Kobold Fight Club it. I know that they could handle like 2 Stone Golems probably. I just worry that they would pull like all 4 because they tend to pull like the whole dungeon at once. Let's see. Alright, here we go. Warriors of Chaos, who happen to work for the Lord of Change. Alright, yep. There's one attending me. Followers of Lord of Change. Let's see. Chaos Corrupting Influence, blah, blah, blah. Okay, 4 powers, yeah. I don't need the whole history of your life, bro. Just want to know what kind of boons and blessings you give out. I think we're just going to go off of, like, Chaos Madness, Wild Surge stuff. Yeah, I don't want to sink. I don't want to actually educate myself on the entire, like, lore of the old gods of Warhammer. So, let's see. We'll call this a Stone Cast Chaos Warrior. Cool. We'll have to get some cool art for that, but we won't worry about that right now. And let's see. What does Stone Cast Chaos Warrior got going for him that the others do not? This might be the first map that is big enough for large creatures. So that could be kind of cool. Yeah, everywhere you look, it's got 10-foot wide doors. So we're obviously going to have some large creatures this time around. So, let's see. 16 strength, not enough. He's made of stone. So we'll give him a 20. Speed of 30. We'll make it 25. We'll lower the speed a little bit. We'll up the armor class, and then we'll call it natural armor because it's made of stone. We will change it to a elemental. There we go. And let's see. What else we got going on here? Alright. Great sword is cool. But we'll make it something smashy. So we'll call it Stone Maul. And we got to up that damage. There we go. Heavy crossbow. Not going to have a heavy crossbow because they're made of stone. Okay. And then we're going to have... let's see. Yeah, that's fine. We could leave leadership on there, I guess. Kind of want something a little bit more chaotic, though. You know what? We could go off of the Golem and give it a breath weapon like the Golem. So let's say, here we go. Double click to shrink that down. Probably should double click the other one too. Oh, that's right. It's open on another window. Let's see. We'll paste this in. One or more creatures I can see within 10 feet of it. So we will call this Entropic Field. and we'll raise it to 15 feet. But we'll lower the save down to 15 as well. Alright, cool. Alright, I like that. And then let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Ferocious Surge, free critical hit, absolutely. We'll make that the signature move. Changing initiative, fantastic. Parry. We're just going to go ahead and do Stone Skin. Alright. And all that is we're just going to steal Uncanny Dodge. Sorry, Rogues. Such a cool ability. Got to steal it all the time. Alright. There we go. Let's see. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and get rid of leadership. Dunskies. Let's see, we got to tell it it's large. And we'll change the token size to 2. Sweet. I guess that's about it. We could give it more HP if we wanted to make it more in line with the Stone Golem, but 178 is pretty beefy. So maybe we'll raise it up to, say, 100. Yeah, that sounds good. It already has the ability to shirk off attacks and has a bigger armor class. So actually, let's go 80. If I'm thinking about the damage output of this party. And also, these aren't supposed to be like a big boss. They're just supposed to be like guards that are kind of wandering around the place. When you're trying to figure out hit points, definitely think about your party's damage output, you know? Yeah, Felforge, I use Felforge all the time. Like Felforge from Kobold Press, Felforge are amazing. Let's see. 80. Okay. I don't really need to change the hit dice, but I guess I could. I'll do a rough estimate, put it at 12 d8. And then, let's see. 12 times 2 is 24. There we go. So if they have any ability that goes off a hit dice or whatever, we at least have that. Okay, so we got Stonecast Cast Warrior. Cool. I will have to find some art for it, but for now, I'll just put the real deal guy down. There we go. Oof, maybe that is too big. I kind of thought, well, they could squeeze through doors. That should be alright. But this ambient statues themselves are only medium size, so I guess we will do medium. Alright, and I gotta make 4 of the statues that are in here these guys. So, let's see. Also need to update this. There we go. And if I run out of time and I don't have time to do new art, at least I have the Chaos Warrior art from before. And I could just say, these guys look exactly like Chaos Warriors, but they're made out of stone. Alright, so let's take this guy over to the GM's lair. And just pick some random spots to put one down. I'm thinking one that hangs out on the balcony and just starts wrecking you when you come up over the balcony. That'd be kind of hype. Let's see. 2 in this entry room. Would that be pretty cool? And then 1 in here to cause insane amounts of collateral damage to all these potions. That would be good. Okay. So, we've gotten our 4... What do I have for monster manuals? I have for Roll20, that's already Roll20 friendly. I think I've got all of them. I've got Mordenkainen's, I've got the main one, I've got Volos. I think I'm missing the monsters that came with Ravnica, because I didn't pick up Ravnica for Roll20. But I have everything on D&D Beyond. And the 2 Kobold Press ones, I got those. Alright, so we've got those. What else do we need? We need Wardo's himself, which we said we're going to make Wardo's into a Birdo. So let's see. Vrock. Vrocks are actually way more powerful when you have to fight multiple Vrocks. But let's look at the Vrock. Go. Okay. Vrock used to be terrifying when second edition. They just get weaker every edition. It's really sad. So you'll notice the Vrock only has a CR of 6 nowadays, which is just embarrassing. So other than making like a super dope version of a Vrock, if we just have him show up as a Vrock, it would be an anticlimactic battle to be sure. We could pull the whole like it's a Vrock with max HP, which is a pretty common design thing in the published adventures, or it's a Vrock with the following changes: max HP, higher armor class, that kind of thing. A Vrock is large, but Vrocks have this, well, they used to have this ability called Dance of Ruin, where if you had more than one Vrock, they would gain like more attacks and more abilities. Nowadays, they seem to just be a poisonous Vulture Man, which is really disappointing. They attack you with their beak. There is a monster that looks like the bird people from Dark Crystal. Oh yeah, and there's a Dark Crystal right there. I'm trying to remember what the creature's name is. Oh my god, I think it was in Mordenkainen's. Starspawn for sure. That's going to be the ambient bad guys in this. It's going to be Starspawn. But there is a creature that looks like a... Gosh, hold on. Bird monster from Dark Crystal. Okay. They're called the Sketsis. Alright. And then the Sketsi Dungeons and Dragons. What do you got for me, Google? I think we're almost there. Nagpa. How could I not remember that? Gosh. Alright. The fact that I even remember this creature at all, I'm going to give myself some props. So we're going to make Vrock, like, yard trash, I guess. This is what we're after. The Nagpa. Alright. Because that kind of was like a Vulture Birdman. Oh, Roll20 needs to load up the character sheet. Oh, God. Are you going to be okay? This monster is from Mordenkainen's Tomb of Foes. I don't believe it's a new monster. I think it's been around for a while. As far as additions go. Alright, so this creature is challenge rating 17. So this is basically what happened to the Vrock, right? You were like, I was saying like the Vrock was like super powerful in 2nd edition. This is what happened to the Vrock. Like, they made this really dumb CR6 version, and then they re-released this super cool version. Alright, so Corruption targets one creature. On a failed save, they are charmed. Oh, I'm sure they'll be excited about being charmed. Haven't been doing that all of 2020. Let's see, paralysis, bonus action, paralyze everybody within 30 feet, which will then allow all the other monsters to come and wreck face. Let's see, 15th level spellcaster, with a regular DC of 20. Okay. Fly, fireball, wall of fire, dominate person, feeble mind, circle of death. Okay, this guy's got a pretty good, pretty good stuff going on here. All right, so that's what we're going to use, but we are going to modify it, of course, because CR17 with adds against the level 5 party, that is too much. we are going to call this thing an Eye of... God, I really wish I knew how to pronounce whatever this thing's name is. Let's see.
Sea-inch.
Sea-inch. Okay. Maybe. So this is going to be an Eye of Sea-inch. So let us do that. I'm going to edit, duplicate. And then we're going to go down to our duplicate. Who's way down here at the bottom. There it is. All right. And we're going to call this thing... Okay. Everything's an eye of something, you know? I feel like everything's an eye of something. Oh well. Let's see. We got really cool Warhammery art for it too, so that'll be kind of cool. So, all right, we'll do that. And now we're going to neuter this guy a little bit because he's way too strong. So it is a humanoid. It's neutral evil. That's fine. High armor class and a boss, never a problem. Fast is not a problem. Having a bunch of hit points isn't a problem. Weak as hell. So I guess technically somebody could just push him down, which is kind of funny. Oh yeah, hand would be kind of cool too. Talon. Oh, because he's kind of a bird. There we go. Cool. Call him a Talon of Sea-inch. Alright, cool. So, let's see. I mean, I'm loving everything else I see there. I don't know. But I do have to I do have to take some of this stuff away. I'm going to leave the intelligence at 12 because they don't have any spells or abilities that affect intelligence. So, why not? I will lower its wisdom down to +5, which is only one higher than the 18 would have provided anyways. And then we'll do the charisma also at a 5. Okay. Just thinking about the DCs that the party is bringing to the table. It doesn't have any legendary actions. It's really just hella strong. What we could do is lower its spellcasting level down to, say, 12? 10? Yeah, we'll do 10. And then let's see what else we got here. Witch Bolt. Oh, well, I guess it had to have one bad spell on its spell list. Alright, it's got its super paralysis. Every round, it could do corruption. Alright, we're going to lower the corruption DC save to a 15. A good rule of thumb I've found is if you don't know what DC to make something, whatever the party's level is, just add 10. Seems to be a, you know, if you don't feel like doing any actual balancing math or anything like that. An evil creature makes a save with disadvantage. Well, we don't judge in my games, so let's get rid of that. Bloop. Alright. On a failed save, the target is charmed by the Nagpa until the start of the Nagpa's next turn. On a successful saving throw, the target becomes immune to the Nagpa's corruption. What is the significance of being charmed in this capacity? It seems like it's just the basic charm. Conditions, charmed. A charmed creature can't attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or effects. Well, I mean, that does kind of screw you over a little bit. Alright. I'll just add that to the description. There we go. And let's see. Paralysis. I mean, while we're being bros, handing out explanations, why don't I just copy that over too? The important thing is opening the fight by landing this paralysis, and then everybody just gets smoked by automatic critical hits. Oh wow, this is actually an enduring effect. The paralyzed target repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. Yikes. So why don't we do this? It recharges on a 5 or a 6 and instead of a 6. Or we could even give it a 50% chance of recharging. Yeah, so we'll do 4, 5, or 6. We lowered the DC, and then we'll say be paralyzed until the... let's see. End of the Talon's next activation. Alright. Paralyzed target, we'll just say turn. There we go. Paralyzed target can repeat the saving throw, so we don't need that part. There we go. And now, it's only going to last 1 round, but it gives the guy something that he has to choose to use his bonus action for corruption or for paralysis. So I kind of like that a little bit more. All right. Spellcaster thing will lower the DC on all its spells down to a 15, and in doing so, that will also lower its to hit as well down to a 7. So that's way less intimidating. All right. Okay. And now let's see. It's a 10th level spellcaster. I believe it will no longer have these higher level spells. So let's get rid of those, so that we're not tempted to use them. There we go. All right. And what a tough choice. Paralyzing literally everyone or charming one person. Yeah. Let's see. But you can't do both, so there's at least that. And then he's got his little staff. Okay. So we've definitely reduced its power quite a bit. Let's lower its armor class while we're at it. We're going to lower that down to a 16. Make him a little bit squishier. And let's see. What else could we do for this guy? I like the True Sight idea. I like Confusion. I feel like Hypnotic Pattern would be good, but we're just making him into an absolute killing machine at that point. You know what would be good? Some tentacle spells. So let's drop him some tentacle spells. So what would that be? Our man Evard? No, Evard. There we go. Yeah, let's give him that. There we go. And what's the other one that's got Moil? Okay, there we go. That's kind of a tentacle-y spell. And then there's the other one, Hadar. Yep, there we go. We'll do Hadar's Arms and Hadar's Hunger. There we go. Alright, so he's getting kind of Cthulhu'd out there a little bit. Alright. Doesn't have any resistances, immunities, or invulnerabilities, so that's cool. Doesn't have any way to mitigate saves, which is unfortunate. And he doesn't have the shield spell, which is fine because we deliberately lowered his armor class anyways. The problem with your boss is you don't want your boss to get smoked by like a banish, which I don't have access to yet at 5th level. But I think since they're only 5th level, we'll let it ride as it is. For legendary actions, we are going to give him legendary actions, but they're not going to be anything to write home about. So, what are the legendary actions going to be? It's going to be... Is there like, let's see, Chaos Bolt. There you go. That seems thematic. Alright, so let's see. Legendary actions. It can cast Chaos Bolt. Okay. Cool. The Talon casts. Chaos Bolt. Easy enough. Alright, and then it will have, let's see, absorb energy. No, absorb ambient chaos. Alright, spelling is hard. So this legendary action will essentially, ooh, that feels more like a reaction. I was thinking like when somebody gets a nat 1, they can basically absorb the nat 1. I don't know. Might be too complicated to count. We'll just do cause wild surge. There we go. Now we got our wild surges in there. Let's see. Give him a wing buffet. Oh yeah. They don't even have a fly speed, these creatures. They're part of the, like, D&D bird people can't fly coalition. Alright, let's see. Wild Surge. The Talon triggers a Wild Surge as though they had cast a wild magic spell. Cool. And let's see. The last one, it definitely needs some kind of way to move around. So we'll say sort of like Blink. So we'll call this like phasing Blink. The Talon teleports 1d6 times 5 feet in a random direction. But if the destination is unavailable, the ability fails. Cool. Yeah, I like that. And then for random direction, I will just have a D8 auto roll for me, because that's what I use to determine random directions. Alright, cool. Yeah, those sound fun. They're not too OP. I mean, Chaos Bolt, getting hammered with Chaos Bolts is going to hurt, but Chaos Bolt is a ranged attack, so it won't auto-trigger a critical against a paralyzed opponent, so there is that. Alright, so we've got our boss, who will eventually show up, and we've got his ads, so we'll give him like 2 of these Vrox. There we go. So that's the final boss fight, right there. Okay, we've got this crystal that's going to constantly cause a confusion effect. And then we've got a bunch of Eldritch Horror type stuff that they've got to discover clues as they go around the dungeon to figure out what happened to Wardos. I love the name. And why he is not here, and what happened to him, and how to get him back. So that'll be kind of cool. I like the idea that depending on time, you could make it 1, 2, or 3 different MacGuffins that they have to track down throughout the dungeon. Yeah, where's Wardos? Oh, damn, now it sounds terrible. Yeah, so they got to figure out where's Wardos. So they could explore his house and kind of find that out, and this gives us an opportunity to throw in some real wacky, chaosy type monsters. So Starspawn was suggested earlier, and was definitely on my mind, especially since my good buddy Anthony made some really amazing Starspawn miniatures, which is good because you'll notice here that these Starspawn have the "we were too lazy to make monsters" miniatures that Roll20 sometimes issues out. Alright, let's see. Starspawn Mangler, CR5, gets a 5th level party. That'll be great. Okay, so let's like put a little box down here to start stashing our monsters in. We got the Starspawned Gru. Who's got 6 attacks? The Mangler? Let's see. Now, this is oh, this is the Gru. Oh, you know what it did? I think I just like put one on top of the other. Maybe. Let's see. Nah, Starspawn Mangler gets. Oh yeah, flurry of claws, 6 attacks. Yeah, well, I stand by it. I stand by it. All right, so Starspawn Mangler, Starspawn Gru, and then I don't think we need a Seer. We got the Hulk. I don't think there's enough room for a Hulk. Well, again, let's see. I don't think I ever even got to see the Starspawn Hulk hit anything last Wednesday, because we were all like range, and we were just gunning this shit down before it got to us. Oh, this is the monster that could essentially have an unlimited attack sequence. Because if it takes physical psychic damage, each creature within 10 feet of it takes that damage instead. The Hulk takes none of the damage. In addition, the Hulk's thoughts and location can't be disturbed by magic. Well, that's weird. But here's the problem with Starspawn Hulk. Like, if there's 2 and they're next to each other, and one takes psychic damage, it goes and gives the other one the psychic damage instead, and then that one gives that one the psychic damage instead, and so they just start infinitely spamming out psychic damage until everybody's dead. If there's 2 Starspawn Hulk next to each other. If you literally interpret the rules. Which, we don't want to do that. That'd be terrible. Let's see. So where would a star-spawned Hulk even hang out? Under the bed. That would be hilarious. Okay. So we're going to have the star-spawned Hulk live under the bed. Excellent. Alright. Let's see. A Fate Eater. Yeah, let's look it up. From Tomb of Beast. Alright. Ew, it's a gross worm. A human-sized parasite resembles ghostly centipedes. Translucent, jaws are crystalline. Okay, I'm liking what I see so far. Spectral bites. Permanently lose proficiencies. Oh yeah, I'm down for that. Lose one of your class abilities. Fantastic. Wow, these are horrible. Okay, yeah, we're gonna add those for sure. Alright. There we go. Alright, I think that's a good enough variety of monsters. Sounds weird, right? Because, like, it's chaotic, so you think you would have a lot of different monsters, but I definitely think that's more than enough. Oh my god, 182 hit points. I love how Tomb of Beast and Creature Compendium were designed around how D&D actually is, whereas, like, Monster Manual monsters were designed around how 5th edition D&D was supposed to be / was. Like, these are monsters that basically have access to the monster version of Xanathar's guide. You know, they have all this extra crap in there. Wow, when a Fader scores a critical hit against the target. So it's got to score a critical hit to steal all of their stuff. That's not too bad. Let's see. Visionary Flesh. Eating the flesh of a Fate Eater requires Constitution save throw. If successful, the Eater gains the divination spell. Oh, why don't we incorporate this into our adventure? And in order to find Wardos, they have to eat the flesh of one of these creatures to see what he had seen. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. And they can just do blink and hallucinatory terrain. Hallucinatory terrain, very hard to pull off in Roll20, in my opinion. It's very hard to pull off hallucinatory terrain. Short of just having a completely fake map. So, yeah. It's a weird creature because, like, a 5d8 bite is significant, right? With the 2d8 necrotic, but that really just makes it on the level of a wyvern. And then the ability to blink is kind of cool, but it is just that, right? There's nothing else, like, crazy. Like, it's a blinking wyvern that only has 1 attack. and it can't fly, so it doesn't even have that on a wyvern. And a wyvern's actually considered pretty weak for its CR. So it's just this ability right here is so nasty. I don't know. I like it. So let's see. Definitely feel like they need to track down this creature and eat it. And we do have a kitchen over here. So that seems kind of like a really gross place to find it, but at the same time, it's kind of cool. But I feel like he would probably have kept this specimen as like in a jar or something. Yeah. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, I've got this spoopy canister here. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have notes on the desk that explain that this small meteorite crashed, and inside the meteorite was this creature, and the creature kept whispering secrets to him, blah, 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 blah. And then ultimately he consumed the flesh of the creature, and of course we'll also mention that it the meteorite continued to grow like day after day, which is kind of cool. All right, if that is the case, where do we want to put this canister that the creature lives in? Actually, you know what? Let's move our stone bro somewhere else for now. Maybe stone bro will hang out in the cafeteria. There we go. And then we could put the canister that's got this creature in it. We'll just impose that over where the statue would have been. There we go. Cool. All right, so the creature's going to be in there. Let's see. So they can crack that bad boy open, and then the creature will start fighting and all that jazz. Cool, cool, cool. And let's see. More notes, more potions. Everything's been corrupted by wild magic. I like that. There we go. That's how we handle it. Going back to the earlier suggestion of the wild magic corruption, there's lots of scrolls here, and there's lots of potions here, but all of them will trigger wild surges if used. They've been corrupted by chaos magic. Perfect. In that way, I could basically say, like, yeah, there's oh yeah, the secret area in the top. Ooh, we could have the creature locked in there. I was gonna put the armor in there, but you know what? We could just put this up here instead. Yeah, there we go. Very smart. Because he wouldn't want anybody to find his very special creature. Sweet. And when they get close, it can start telepathically communicating with them and messing with them and stuff, because it has 100-foot telepathy. Nice. All right, in that case, we will just go ahead and put that dope-ass armor in this room, which was another thing I wanted to have in there. And I'm thinking I was going to go with this 4th edition magic item guide that basically takes all the 4th edition magic items, all like 700 of them, and turns them into 5th edition items. It's called the Lost Vaults. It's really, really cool. So let's see. We'll go ahead and go to magic armor. There we go. Let's see if we can find something cool. This is an quote-unquote artifact, which is just HeroQuest's way of saying magical armor. But we do want it to be kind of cool, because it is, I don't know, it's significant. Let's see. Forged from Poisonous Snake. No. Armor of Durability. This armor shows no wear at any time. While wearing this armor, you have 3 charges. You can expend a charge to gain 5 temp HP, and for 1 minute, advantage of Constitution saving throws. That's actually kind of cool. Armor durability. Let's see. Oh, that's hype as hell. Armor of Negation. The runes in this armor seem to cover vital areas of the wearer and can seem to move in the presence of danger. Dirt and dust never seem to stick to this armor. While wearing this armor, you gain the following effects. Whenever you succeed on a saving throw and take half damage, you can use your reaction to take no damage. And that's not just for dex saves. That's just for everything. Anything that would do partial damage. Disintegrate. All that stuff. And then you can also cast it. Dispel magic on yourself at 4th level once per day, with a bonus +3 for higher level spells. Yeah, but the Armor of Negation, it's not even evasion, because evasion only covers dex-based saves. The Armor of Negation covers all saves that would have given you half damage. So poison, disintegrate, all that kind of stuff. That's really good. It's listed as very rare, so that's pretty good. Let's see. Blood Iron Armor. The armor is treated and cooled in blood forged. The rest of it. Okay. Armor of Starlight. That could be pretty cool because it's we got Star Spawned here, but this is cloth armor. This set of clothes is deep blue with small dots of white. While wearing these clothes, you gain resistance to radiant damage. That's pretty cool. In 4th edition, Radiant was the preferred damage type of like warlocks and farplane creatures and stuff like that, which was kind of cool. Let's see. This set also has 5 charges and regains 1 charge each night. Well, this is HeroQuest one-shots, so you'll always start every adventure with 5 charges. When you're hit with an attack, you use your reaction to spend a charge, causing the stars on the clothes to explode with light. The attacker must make a Wisdom saving throw DC 15 or be blinded until the end of their next turn. You can also use a bonus action to shed dim light within 15 feet around you and end it with a bonus action. Well, why don't we make that Wardoz's robes? So when they kill the creature that Wardos has become, they could take his armor of starlight. That will be cool. Alright, so let's get our handy dandy snippy tool out. And just like that, we've got an item card. Done. And it's thematic to the adventure. Let's see. Bolstering, it's legendary. You know what? The more I think about it, I'm really digging the Armor of Negation, because that is like the ultimate tank armor right there. But it is plate. We're gonna make it plate armor for sure. So let's see. All right. Let's see. So what is this armor called again? We got it right here. Boren's armor. Yep. Alright, cool. Alright. Yeah, so if you are looking for like cool alternate items that you're tired of handing out the same magic items, this is such a good supplement. 800 magic items. So cool. Alright, so let's see. What else do we got? We got... Oh, the room with too many damn traps. Okay, so we got to figure out a spot to put the room with too many damn traps. This looks like Wardoz's bedroom over here, so I feel like he would definitely want this to be protected above all else. So, why don't we do the stupid amount of traps there? That might be kind of cool. The question is, what kind of stupid traps do we want to make? Because they have 2 pit traps followed by a treasure chest. But this guy is a Wizrobe, so maybe he would have like magical traps instead of pit traps. So let's see. You go up to his bedroom door and you're not Wardos. Something bad happens to you. I got an idea. You get teleported outside above the swamp. There we go. And you fall to the swamp, to the ground. But you know, the swamp will cushion some of the fall. But you do take a shitload of damage. And now you're outside. So I kind of like that. So plus they're really good at finding traps. So they're probably not going to trigger this at all. So let's see. Move that over to the GM's layer. Cool. Let's see. I'm going to put a big one out here, because this is where they're going to get teleported to if they trigger it. And then everywhere that one of these is, it will teleport you outside. So you mess with this personal treasure chest, you have to deal with it. If you trigger that, you got to deal with it. And then I feel like his laboratory, he would probably have that locked up tight too. Yeah, so let's say, yeah, we'll put it right here on the inside of the store. Cool. All right. And then that'll teleport you outside. And then a quick reminder to ourselves about what that does. So let's see. There we go. Purple wards teleport you 100 feet above swamp. Take 7d6 falling damage. And land prone in swamp. Cool. Alright. Now what could be cool is if we leave that in play and they can lead monsters into it. That might be kind of neat, to get monsters to accidentally get teleported out. That might be kind of fun. Alright. And let's leave ourselves a note over here. This is worm to eat and figure out how to get Wardos. Sweet. Notes. Let's see. Do this. Wardos show up with 2 Vrock. Easy enough. I could kind of, understand that from the picture. But let's see. Down here, notes for ourselves. Find 1 to 3 MacGuffins to locate Wardos and summon him back. Cool. And yeah, we're going to lean real hard on these treasure cards, and more than likely I will use 5e Magic Shop to generate a huge list of spell scrolls and potions and just go off of that. So why don't we do that right now before I forget. Okay, if you are unfamiliar with 5e Magic.shop, it is a really cool tool set. So we're going to go to generator and we're going to make a magic shop, and we're going to make up our own numbers for it. So we'll just pretend it's a large city, and let's see, we'll do he's got a lot of scrolls, so we'll do 50 common, 30 uncommon, 10 rare, 2 very rare, and 0 legendary. Actually, let's just go nuts. We'll do 60, 40, 10. Alright. Sure, add some healing potions. Why not? And then we're going to go down here, and we're going to tell it that we only want you to make potions and scrolls. Yeah, that works. And we will allow summoning items on. We won't set any price limits or anything. And then we'll go for it. Alright, there we go. We have a huge list of potions and scrolls. That was easy. And we even have the option to download this list. So we could download it as a CSV file. So we'll call it here HQ7. Let's see, HQ7 Wardo's Loots. Sure. Alright. And then I should be able to open this up with Excel. And the cool thing about having it in Excel is that we can track what they have found or not. Yeah. So we took a pretty simple dungeon and made it a lot more complicated, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. There we go. Yeah, we know you're consumable. We can probably get rid of this. There we go. Cool. Alright. I take it. And let's see, it's got 100, we generated 116 different items, so that seems like more than enough to fill up this dude's house. So literally, when they go to search for something, we just randomly pick one of these off the list, or randomly roll some dice to pick one off the list, and then we can, you know, color code it to be like, boop, they found that one, and then move on. So, pretty neat. So now we have a house full of scrolls and potions. It was a lot easier than rolling for it. Okay, so we've got our cool boss fight. We've got multiple ways to enter the dungeon. They can go any way they want to explore. We've got random monsters that we could spawn as needed. We just need to get the art for them, and then we're good to go on that. We got this spook-ass worm, so let's move him over here. We've got random loots galore for that. Do we want some random magic items for this? Yeah, sure. So what we'll do is go back to the generator. Because you don't have to use this to generate a magic shop, is what I'm trying to show you. You can use this to just generate a list of items. And let's see, we want wands, weapons, and armor. Maybe staff. Now, we'll just stick with, you know what? We'll do armor and weapons for now. And that works. How many do we want? We want lots of mundane ones. So we'll say, give me 30 mundane ones. Give me, I don't know, 10 common ones. 2 uncommon ones. No rare, because they are getting that really cool armor and robes. No very rare, and no legendary. Alright. And maybe... Oh yeah, here we go. Mundane. We need to have armor, artisan supplies, trade tools, and weapons and ammunition. Alright, cool. Oh, that would be cool. Like, to guarantee that it hits kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, as long as they could, like, recover from it afterwards. They're already dealing with, like, paralyzing dudes with, like, critical hit cards and stuff like that. I might talk the creature up real bad in his notes and say that it's capable of like permanently feeding off like the minds and memories of targets and all that jazz. Oh my god, there's a whip of warning. Ooh. Do I leave it in? Weapon of warning. This is their chance to have a weapon of warning. $60,000 price tag. All right, we'll leave it in. We'll leave it in. For HeroQuest, we'll leave it in. Then they'll never be surprised again for the rest of the campaign. 7 more adventures after this. I don't know. Yeah, sorry, whip of warning. Let's see. We'll download it. Okay, this is HeroQuest 7. Wardo's Armory. Alright, now if they ask what's in the armory, we know exactly what's in the armory. There's chain shirts, there's glaives, there's halberds, there's half-plate. It's all covered. So that's pretty cool. So, anything else that we're missing in here? We got scrolls and potions for days, we got magic items, we've got the signature magic item that you're supposed to find, we got a cool boss drop, we've got a weird mid-boss in this worm, we got some strong-ass guardians spread around the place, cool places for them to explore. We're going to sprinkle in some Eldritch Horror, play some spooky music. I already have that picked out. Yeah, I think this is good to go. All right. All that remains now is to change out art for a couple of things. Worst case scenario, there isn't enough time to change out the art for the ones that already have art and already have star spawn tokens lined up, so that's taken care of. And then as far as the mangler goes, I like the idea of there being a mangler down in the swamp. Like kind of hiding under the water or the mud or whatever. That might be kind of cool. So we'll put one there. And then where would another mangler be? Under the table in the dining room. It's a good place for the mangler. Alright. And then these Gru, we're just going to put them everywhere. They're basically going to just rise up out of the slurpy tentacles that are here. So they're going to be an as-needed monster. So whenever we want a star spawn Gru, we're just going to grab one. Sweet. Alright, I guess the last thing is there was that weird potion that turned you into a statue. I think that's more than covered by the fact that every potion they drink is going to cause a wild surge. So I definitely think we honored everything in the original adventure and then some. And the narrative that we're at here is the meteorite crashed right through his freaking roof. He started studying the meteorite, and before he realized what was going on, he was corrupted by chaos, and eventually went into the servitude of Zinch or whatever. And they have to summon him back and put him down. So that'll be pretty cool. They also have the artifact they got last session that allows them to cast divination once per adventure. So actually they got that in the 5th one, and they didn't even use it in the last session. But they have one that allows them to cast divination once per adventure, so that can help them too. Oh yeah. If the Mangler surprise round, it'll totally wreck them for sure. So maybe we should, I would say maybe we should just do the one, because we do have a lot of other stuff we could fight. So yeah, I'll have that one live out there and in the swamps, and it'll of course go after somebody that triggers one of the traps. It has a climb speed, so it can climb up onto the balcony and join the fight if it needs to. So this creature, the worm, can call out to it for aid. And then if it's still alive when they go to fight the boss could call out to it for aid. So that'll be like the ace in the hole there. Oof. Alright. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a pretty fun adventure. I don't know if all the players are going to feel that way. Hopefully, they keep coming back, so I mean, they must be enjoying it. Yeah. Other than that, I think it is good to go. We've got our magic item cards ready. We've got music picked out. We're going to get the art together, and it'll be good to go. So that is the preparations for the Lost Wizard. Appreciate everybody hanging out and the good ideas and the clutch memory of some of these monster names. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good adventure. So it's definitely going to be ominous. I'm definitely going to have some real spooky music playing. Hopefully there'll be some clenched buttholes tomorrow night as they look around. Hopefully people that were in last Wednesday's adventure don't feel over star spawned. It's just the timing, I guess, is what happened here. But I don't know. I think it'll be fun. All right, cool. I'm going to go grab something to eat. I will try my best to get it some more streaming in this week. I've got lots and lots of game prep to do, so there's no shortage of stuff to do on that regard. And then trying to get a couple more videos out as well. So, all right, later, everybody.